Hey, this is Peter. I'm from DashNex, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to streamline your content creation workflow so that you can create more content and do it faster than you ever thought possible. I'm going to go behind the screens. I'm going to show you exactly how it works. I'm going to show you my process that I'm using right now to create long-form content, and you can literally steal that process right away. In fact, if you want to follow along and execute as I'm doing this today, you can just check the link in the description, click the link, go inside, and you'll be able to follow along and exactly execute the same steps I'm doing right now. All right, with that being said, let's just jump behind my computer and let me show you everything. All right, so now I'm inside of my DashNex account and I'm in the AI space, which is where all this process is happening. So you can see here my recent work, and I have 32 pieces as I'm recording this video. And so in the first kind of step, what I want to talk to you about is the 3 phases in this content creation workflow that I believe are super important. And so the first phase is what I call ideation phase. This is the phase where you brainstorm your ideas. This is where you think about the context of your content. So what kind of things you want to talk about in that content piece, how you want to build it, how you want to structure it. And for example, I'll show you here, I have this keyword competitive analysis techniques to outthink your market rivals. And so I have a bunch of titles here. I have, as you can see, context for the chapter. So I can select these chapters, I can edit them, and I'll show you all this demonstration later. But essentially, this is where we brainstorm the idea, we brainstorm the context. So what we want to talk about in the content and what it's going to be about. And also this phase, we make a decision about how long we want that content to be. Do we want it to be 1,000 words or 2,000 words or whatever that is? So you make those decisions. And of course, if you want to get more ideas, you can load more ideas. It's going to give you more ideas right here. And then you can, of course, also kind of bookmark them for the future if you want to, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things you can do in the ideation phase. The next phase that comes right after the ideation phase is what I call TOC, or table of content phase. I am a strong believer that every single content piece you create needs to have a table of contents. It's a structure that will help you to make content more valuable. And so, of course, it's part of the content creation workflow as well. So let's take a look at this one. So I have here a content for 10 tips on human psychology. So 10 mind-blowing tips on human psychology you need to know. So I'm working on this right now. And I have, as you can see, introduction. And of course, I can add sections or remove sections. And I can also regenerate them with AI if I want to. But essentially, I have the introduction part. I have the chapters here in the middle. And then I have the closing part. And you essentially want to structure every piece of content the same way. This is how we start the videos typically on YouTube as well. So we say, hey, in this video, you are going to learn about XYZ. In this video, for example, you are learning about content creation workflow. And then in the closing part, we summarize what we covered and so on and so forth, right? So this is the phase where you can update everything. This is where you build the context for your content, where you really define what your content is going to be about and how AI should work in order to create it. Okay, so now I made some changes here, so let me quickly update, go back to the AI space, and now we have the final phase. This is where the content is already generated. So we have now the phase where we make some minor tweaks. So for example, I'm working right now on this one, how to advertise your business. As you can see, this is 1,634 words. And so we have the intro and we have all the parts, including the closing part. And so now all I have to do is just read this and make kind of small adjustments here and there to make the personalization, to make it sound more like a human being. Because of course, when content is created with AI, you can't really perfectly match your voice exactly as you want to, but this kind of structure helps you to ensure that you have the content kind of sequence in the right way. And that's why I love this workflow, and that's why we build this into the DashNex AI that you see right now. And you can, as I mentioned before, you can click the link in the description, check it out. It's free to use. You can sign up and start to use it right away. Now, in order to kind of demonstrate and put this all together, let's just create some content piece here. So I click the button create with AI, and now we can type in whatever we want, or once you will start to generate content, it will offer you different ideas here that you can start to leverage to create more content. And basically there is infinite opportunities for you to create the content flow kind of workflow for, month ahead. So if you, for example, want 2 long form content pieces per week, you can absolutely plan that out right here and have them ready right away. So let's type in content creation. Let's just go with something very generic. Let's start to get some topics, and this is kind of the ideation phase as it happens live. You can see it live right now. Okay, so now it's going to generate the content, it generate the ideas, and now what we can do, we can take a look and see what we want to use. So for example, how to create engaging content that captivates your audience, or the ultimate content creation guide for 2024 tips and tricks. I like this title, for example, better, so I'm going to select this title right away. That's what I want to use. Now in the next kind of step, right, in this ideation phase, we need to start to think about, okay, so we want to create engaging content that captivates your audience. So what we need to talk about, okay, so we need to start to think about some general kind of context for our content, right? So effective content marketing, video content creation could be good, content creation mistakes, I would say here, avoid these content creation mistakes could be a chapter, right? As you can see, here is content creation workflow. Get your content creation workflow. So we can, as you can see, we can add a bunch of things, right? Then content, let's say, let's take a look. Boosting an engagement on the content creation tips. Let's say we have right now, if you look here, we have 6 out of 10 chapters selected, and that's excluding intro and outro. I would deselect this video content creation. I would go with those that I have here. But of course, during this phase, I would extremely customize these topics, these chapter subjects, because what you put in here will essentially impact significantly what you will get out in the table of contents, and then ultimately as you will create the content. Now let's select the length. Let's say I want it to be 8 to 10 minute YouTube video. So that's about 1,250 words. That's excluding the intro and outro. And now what we want to do, we want to go to the table of contents phase. So we want to create table of contents right now. And as you can see, it basically analyzes everything. It defines the format and tone, and now it's going to build the table of contents that you'll see right here. So as you can see, how to create engaging content that captivates your audience, introduction, there is some things in the introduction, and then you can go through every single chapter and make some editing for the chapters. So for example, what you will learn in this guide. So if you are creating video, what you are going to learn in this YouTube video. So you make adjustments, right? Like this, sorry about that. The importance of engaging content, how to use this, what you can expect after this video. So essentially why you need to watch it, right? And then content creation tips, finding your audience interests, creating compelling headlines, structuring content for readability, avoid these content creation mistakes, get your content creation workflow, boosting engagement with, like, of course we can adjust these. And as I mentioned before, if I would create the content for real, not in the demonstration video, then I would just spend more time on the ideation phase, and I would structure every single topic for the chapters more carefully. But right now, let's just click update here. Let's just click preview. So this is my table of contents, as you can see. And now I'm going to just auto script. I'm going to create the entire content. And as you can see, it just submits TOC to AI. It's now going to fine tune AI based on our inputs. And within a few minutes, you'll have a perfectly optimized content where you will just need to do some manual fine tuning to make it more human-like. And here you have it. So as you can see, it's 1086 words. You can see it here. And you can see all the chapters, all the how much words are there in each of the chapters. And now all you have to do is literally just go through this. You can preview it here, read through this, and that's about it. So once you go through it, once you make adjustments, you have the content ready. But by following the structure, you have things in place in the proper order. All right, as you can see, this type of content creation workflow simplifies everything. You have 3 specific phases that you can focus on, and you don't need any additional tool, or you don't need to copy and paste from one tool to another tool, but you can just go inside, take the content in one of the phases and continue the work there to make it perfect, just like you want. And it really doesn't matter what you want to create, whether it's a long form content like articles, essays, or video scripts, or it's a short form content for social media posts or something like that. It really doesn't matter, because the principles are exactly the same and the steps are going to be exactly the same. So also, I want to mention that with the DashNex business account, you can build the team around, so multiple people can work on the same content at the same time. And this is why I highly recommend you check the link in the description, create free account on DashNex, and start to experience this content creation workflow. And as always, if you have some questions, make sure you post them in the comments. I'll answer all of them. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it as well, so other people can discover it and make their content creation more simpler. With that being said, thank you for watching. My name is Peter Geraghty. I'm the founder of DashNex, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye for now.